Now that you've had a chance to sign on to the EdCenter site, let's take a look at how to get started in a class. You can see that I'm on the Grade 2 English class. And all of your classes, I'll just move this down a bit, are listed down the left-hand side. So you can click on ELA or Math or whatever other class you want to get into. Now, I've got a whole lot of classes because I teach a whole lot of classes. You'll just see the ones that you're in. I'll move this back up again. As soon as you get into a class, this is the first page that you're going to see. And you'll see this picture with some links that will help you get started. The first one is how to sign on to your NLSD email account. Now, you should have your email address for your student by now, but if you don't for some reason, don't worry about it. Just give me a call or an email. I'll show you that information in a couple of minutes, and then you can contact me and I'll give you an email address. And then watch this video, and it'll tell you how to figure out your password. And there's also a link here for how to connect to IXL, which is a site that will let you practice math and ELA skills, and a couple of videos that we made at the start of the school year. I'm just going to move us down a bit more. And then you'll see some videos. These will change from time to time. Right now I've got one here on where to find books, because you'll need a lot of books for Grade 2 English. And there's lots of books to be had. And here you see my contact information. So if you ever do need to get a hold of me, here's my phone number and my email address. And every now and then there's stuff that it's better if we do a web conference. And we've got that available to you. This section is a part of every class, course information. And this is stuff for the mentor to read through. Here we've got all the sections in this course information for this class. I'm just going to go through it fairly quickly. Course outcomes are the outcomes that are laid out by the Saskatchewan government. So the government has laid out what every Grade 2 student needs to learn in ELA. That's where you'll find them. The overview gives you a sense of what the course is about. Assessment and evaluation tells you how we're assessing and evaluating your student. I'm just going to click on that because it also includes something else that I've been asked about a little bit already. Something I've had a few people ask is, what stuff do you send in? So what do you have to hand in? Now I'll show you two ways to find out. One way is by clicking on this link. I'll just do that now. And it'll take you to this document. I'll just close this stuff so it's easier to see. And it's actually a list of everything that needs to get handed in for Unit 1. So this is just for Unit 1, getting to know myself, my family, and my friends. And these are the assignments that need to be handed in. So that's one way of knowing what you need to hand in, is just by looking at this document. There's another way. I'll get back to our Grade 2 class. Another way to know what you need to hand in, and I'll get back to the course information in a minute, but another way to know what you need to hand in is by looking for this symbol that looks like a hand holding a piece of paper. Anytime you see that, that means this is a lesson that needs to be handed in. So when you click on this link, I won't do it now, I'll let you do that on your own. But when you click on that link, it'll take you to a different page where you can attach your work or a photo or whatever you need for that assignment, and then submit it, which means hand it in to me. It's actually pretty cool. Once you do a couple, you'll get used to it. Okay, let's go back up here again. So that was assessment and evaluation. The timeline is pretty useful information. Some pretty useful information. Procedures is good to read. Expectations, and then I'm going to click on this one. Resources. This is also included in every class, and it tells you what you need for that class. So for example here, I'll use my pointer instead. Here, it tells us what books and other things that we need to do this class. Now most of this stuff will be supplied by the school in your communities. So we've contacted them. They're doing a bunch of photocopying and putting books together into packages, and they'll call you or contact you somehow to let you know when it's ready for pickup. So for example, Cornerstones is one of the books that will usually be in that package, but if they don't have a copy, we also have copies of almost all of this stuff on this site. So you can go to the class and you'll find copies of Cornerstone. Here, I'll just show you where that is. So that's one of the things that you need. And right here is the reading material. And here are all the Cornerstones units. Okay, I'm just going to go back to this page. So that pretty much covers the course information section. Let's move down to the unit. So when you actually start getting into the work. Now usually if you need materials, it'll be included here or somewhere in this, like in around the lesson. You'll be able to spot it. In this case, it's right at the top. Here they give you a unit overview, which just kind of gives you a sense of what you're doing in this unit. And then down here, we actually get into the first lesson. Just move that up a bit. Now I'm going to click on this lesson. All of the lessons are structured very similar. So for example, here it tells you what the purpose of the lesson is. And we have a lesson plan. It's actually kind of hard to see, but it says some stuff there. I'll point to it when I have my cursor again. It'll tell you what you need as far as materials. Just going to move this up a bit. And usually you'll see things that look like this where it says HO and then a number. The HO stands for handout. And you'll also see, usually, something that says A and a number. The A stands for assessment. And if we click on these, that'll actually take us to the document that we need. And a lot of lessons also include videos. And sometimes there are videos for the mentor to watch to learn how to do the lesson. And sometimes there are actually videos for the kids. That'll be a part of the lesson. Okay, I'm just going to go back to the lesson plan. And I'll click on this. And you can actually see it says Unit 1, Lesson 1. It's kind of hard to see, but you'll notice it when you do this on your computer. And when you click on that, it'll take you to a lesson plan, which is just an outline of how the lesson will go. So things that you need to do in the lesson. Starts off with curricular connections, which are those outcomes that the government says we need to learn. Let's move this up a bit. Goes through the purpose and materials. And it also talks about the daily routines. These are important because these are things that should be done every day. And you can read about those on your own. And then it just goes through how to do a few different things. You can see that there's a lot of material there. Okay, I'm just going to go back to where we started from. So once you get into the lessons, again, they're all structured very similarly. So once you do one, and you get into the second one, it'll get easier, third one will be easier, and you'll get into a rhythm and routine, and after a while it'll be pretty straightforward, I think. In the meantime though, and anytime you have questions, remember that you can always contact me. My information is right here, and it's in every class that I am assigned to, so everything from K1, 2, 3. So if you need anything, you can call me or send me an email.